All right. Hi, everyone. My name is my name is Jennifer. I will be your tour guide for today, this afternoon. Just get you kind of used to what's going on here. It's a lot of stuff going on. This is a hybrid program, which means all you lovely people are here, and we have some people at home who are watching this as well. So which means that they can see the screen, and then they can see whatever is in that tiny video up there on their side. That video and microphone is being picked up by our lovely owl devices here. They got eyes, they're so cute. Which means that they're mostly going to be focusing on me, because I'm talking, I'm moving, so they're going to be looking at me and picking me up. That being said, if you guys happen to talk or sneeze, they might kind of focus in on you, and that's okay. They'll eventually kind of take their, you can come in. They will eventually kind of move away from you as long as you don't keep talking or keep making noise. So we're trying a new thing. We're trying to, make this available for people here and at home. So hi to the people at home. So this is going to be about an hour, just because, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Plus I can only talk for so long. I get tired as well. If you have any questions in the middle, feel free to kind of blurt them out. You don't even have to wait till the end unless you want to. That being said, if you do have questions, the owls will find you. So if you don't want to be on camera, you're welcome to wait until after the class and you can come to me privately so that you don't get picked up by them. Okay, you have a handout in front of you. That handout has every single word that is on this PowerPoint. So no need to take notes for what you see on the PowerPoint unless you need to. For those at home, I'm happy to email this handout to you, or you can come to the library and pick it up. Last thing, this program is also going to be recorded, which means that it will be available on our YouTube page for further reference as well. So with all that being said, we ready to go? Sound good? Okie dokie. All right. If I can get that to cooperate, that would be great. Here we go. Okie dokie. All right, so welcome to the tour. This is a course about really 1 hour class about how to protect yourself online in an increasingly digital world. It covers a variety of situations that may apply to a smartphone, a tablet, a laptop, a desktop, your Amazon Echo at home, your smartwatch, pretty much any device that is connected to the internet. This will somehow apply to. We're going to learn some options and how to help you stay safe. And those topics you include on the side. We're going to be talking about hacking because that's a very broad and scary term. We're going to kind of narrow it down and what it actually means for you. We're going to talk about how to protect your devices, tools to browse online safely. You're going to all these different websites. How do you go to the right ones or to avoid the bad ones? Red flags on the internet that you should really keep an eye out for and stay away from, as well as virus protection, virtual private networks. Those are kind of a new and up and coming thing, and identity monitoring services and password managers. So we have a lot to go through and we'll get started. No, baby. There we go. Okay, so some statistics just to scare you up. So the FBI receives one cybercrime report every minute, pretty much on average. So this stuff is constantly happening. The average cybercrime loss is about $6,700 per individual. Some of that could be like $100 here and there, or you can have people who get scammed for 10, 100 grand somehow, and it averages out to about, let's say $7,000 per individual. There are three points of cybercrime: internet scams, frauds, and identity theft. That kind of all revolves around one thing, which is kind of identity theft. With internet scams, you're being scammed to believe this person who says who they are not. Fraud, where you have people who are taking commit insurance fraud and other types of fraud, but they pretend to be someone they're not as well. And identity theft, people are stealing identities, selling them off, or pretending to be you to then access your money and other personal information. So it's scary, and there's a lot out there. Also, looking at ages, under 60-year-olds, so kind of my generation, we're more likely to report fraud, kind of because we maybe know it is fraud, and we also know where to and who to report it to. We're a little bit more savvy on that end. Over 60 years old, more likely to report higher losses. So they may not let you know a couple of change here, go here and there, but the higher losses is what finally gets reported. Once we get to the thousands, really up there, that's when things get really scary and it gets reported. So who do you report all this to? I have two websites here, that's also in your handout. The first one is a government website. Where to report scams for USA.gov. It's really nice because it asks you some questions, you answer those questions, and it points you to the right department. Whether you're contacting the FBI, if this is a police matter, a credit card, bank matter, it kind of points you in the right direction of where to start to if you are the victim of a scam, a fraud, identity theft. The next is the Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3.gov. Also a government website. This is run by the FBI. And so that is also probably one of your biggest resources to find out about scam or fraud, or to report it. And that's where you kind of go. For the most cases, for internet scams, the police, your local police isn't going to be much help. They're going to probably point you to another resource. You can certainly tell them, but if it's an internet scam and the culprit is on the other side of the world, there's not much they can do. If it's a credit card fraud, of course, when your first call should be to your credit card. Same thing with a bank. It's a bank issue, call your bank kind of thing. And that kind of will point you in the right direction with that. Does that sound good? Cool. All right, so what is digital security? So we've been scared, we need to know what to do now. So digital security is a means of protecting your internet connected devices from intruders. Whether it is actual hackers, actual bad people on the other end, or malware, bad programs, software that kind of get into your computer, just intruders in general. And internet connected devices certainly could be your smartphone, it could be your laptop, it could be your Echo smartphone that plays music for you. It could be your refrigerator, which is connected to the internet these days. Any device that is connected to the internet is a potential way for intruders to get in and to then kind of explore and get what they want from you. So digital security is about protecting your personal data from being used and sold. And there are various ways to protect yourself, and we'll be going through these big ones here, and then what you can do on your own terms. That doesn't include money, because these include money. Okay, cool. So what is hacking? So I just want to make sure that we've got nobody waiting. No, great. So we're probably all familiar with the term hacking. We've seen it in the movies. You've got a guy in a black hoodie, hunched over a computer, furiously typing. That could be it. But it also could just be someone in a coffee shop who happens to be getting to the right things. So hacking is the practice of using knowledge of technology to break into computer systems and exploit their vulnerabilities. A hacker can block access to the system, basically hold your computer or your device hostage, and won't let it go, won't let you into it until you pay money or whatever they want from you. They can gather data within the system, they get in, they take or copy or steal what they want, whether it's names, important numbers, financial information, something like that. And they also can gain access to other devices within the same network. So that means that maybe it was really easy for them to get into your phone, but they're really interested in your computer. And since your phone and your computer are on the same network when you're on your Wi-Fi at home, there's good enough hacker could jump from one to the other with the right information, the right know-how. So it's all a lot, and it's a little scary. So I just did it. Thank you. So we have three types of hackers. We have black, gray, and white. Kind of obvious, but black is your bad guys. They're hacking for the wrong reasons. They're hacking to steal from you, to compromise you, to take money, cause chaos, all that bad stuff. Your gray hackers are more on the medium spectrum here. They may hack for ethical or non-ethical reasons. They may hack for social justice. to expose what a company's doing, or just kind of just to have fun, create a little test their skills. So they're not necessarily doing it to for bad reasons, but it's certainly not always legal what they do. Your white hats are your good guys. They're hacking for the right reason. They are professional people who are usually hired by companies or governments to then try to test their company or government system and figure out the flaws, figure out where the holes need to be patched up. So they are professionally hackers who are hired for the right reasons. Okay. Cool. All right, how hacking works. This is the neat and gritty stuff. So there are three major ways that hackers find and exploit vulnerabilities. First one is social engineering. This is where we come in. Social engineering is where hackers are able to get into our system because we give them permission to somehow. A lot of this is with phishing or with scam phone calls. So maybe you get a email that really looks legit from your bank and it looks like it's the right thing and it tells you, oh, there's been, something's wrong with your account. Please click this link and log in with your information so we can fix it. And you do that and you give the hacker, your username, your password, and then they have everything they need to go and actually get into your legitimate bank account. So they do all the right things to trick you into giving them what they need. Scam phone calls, maybe you get a phone call from somebody who claims to be from your credit card company, and they say, oh, your credit card's been compromised. Please give me your name, your credit card number, and your social security number for identity verification. I want to know who you say you are. Well, they're the credit card company, supposedly they should have all that information. But you give it to them because you're scared and you want this fixed immediately. And then now this person on your line has all the information they need to get into your credit card. So that's social engineering, where you've got people tricking people to get into a computer or device or an account. Program-based hacking is more traditional hacking. They're using computers to hack computers. And that's kind of like, the guy on the laptop tapping away to get into a computer system. Physical access, this is the easiest for hackers to do. It's where the hacker actually has his hands on your device. Whether that meant you kind of lost your smartphone somewhere or you put down your laptop somewhere and you walked away and you come back and it's gone. Meaning that this person, they took the device and they ran off with it, and now that device is not locked down at all. They have access to everything because they have physical access to it. Okay. All right, and so we're going to figure out some ways that we can kind of make this harder if anyone ever tried to hack into any of these ways. So, hacking. Obviously, we've said this before, but hacking, it can be bad. It can be used to steal credit card numbers, personal information, login credentials to various accounts, and more. It can be used to attack national security of other companies, inject malware into computers, meaning bad software gets into your computer or your device and makes it very hard to use or completely unusable. Or it can be used to modify or destroy data. So you have really important data and it's gone and you're out of luck. It can be used to do good for political or social causes, for national security, or improving the security of websites and apps by being tested by white hackers, by the good guys. All right. Okay, so how can we protect ourselves and our device? So our smartphone especially keeps track of most of our daily lives. We've got appointments on there, important numbers, sometimes even shopping information, credit card information. You can do shopping on our devices, on our phones. And all of that, it means that being hacked risks this valuable information. So we're going to talk about multiple ways to discourage access to the device and how we can lock it down from outsiders. And so here are some do's and don'ts. All right, first of all, do not jailbreak. This is not Monopoly, meaning that there's something called jailbreak where basically you kind of have complete control over the device. you take it outside of the manufacturer's software of the device. So that means you do have more control of the device. You can use apps outside the official store. It means freedom. Jailbreaking means freedom to do whatever you want with the device, but it comes with bad stuff. Jailbreaking means you're losing a lot of the security measures that were built into the device. It means that you're exposed to outside apps that are not screened through for malware, for bad stuff that is done in the official store. It removes all the built-in security measures like virus protection, and it means no updates. So you can't get those updates to better your security of your device. So if you're ever in a position where someone says, oh, we can fix that, or oh, if you want to do that, let's jailbreak, please do not jailbreak the device. It's not meant for that, and you're kind of exposing yourself to worse things. Yes, you get more freedom, you get more control, but you're just opening yourself to a world of bad things that can come in. Okay. All right, next is do lock your device. So if you have a smartphone or a laptop that does not have a passcode or password, probably change that. So please consider protecting your device by locking it when not in use, and then unlocking it could be a passcode, a numerical passcode, where you just type in a bunch of numbers, enter in your PIN and such. It could be a biometric, which means maybe it's your fingerprint or ask to look at your face, and that's a way to then unlock it as well. I've also seen patterns where you can draw like a pattern to then get into it. Whatever your device has, I would recommend using whatever option that you like. And recommend setting your auto lock to at least 30 seconds after no activity. So that means if you happen just to put your phone down, after no input from you, the phone will automatically lock, go to sleep, it will lock down after 30 seconds of no input. That means that the next person who picks it up, if it's not you, after those 30 seconds, will be asked for a some kind of, whether it's a passcode, biometric, or pattern. It's going to ask for how to unlock it. And if that person doesn't have it, well, they're out of luck and your device is saved for another day. So please do that. Same thing with a tablet or computer or laptop. Passwords, really encourage just making it so the person who is accessing the device doesn't just have to turn it on and they're in, because that's not cool. Because if someone happens to get a hold in that device and there's no protection of it, they can access anything they'd like. Okay, great. All right, next is two-factor authentication. This is kind of a step further from auto lock, and you see a lot these days with accounts, whether it's your credit card, payment online, your Google account, email account. A lot of different accounts online are saying, okay, thank you for your username and password, but let's also set up a one-time passcode system that will make the account even more secure. So that means when you're trying to log into an account, and ask for username and password, and then it's going to then send a one-time passcode, usually just a bunch of numbers, to a registered email or a phone number that maybe you'll get a text on the account. So that means that even if your password is compromised, someone guesses it, trying to get into this very high value account, they won't be able to access it even with the username and password because they need that one-time passcode. That code is being sent to your device, your phone or whatever, and so, or your email, and then you can then take the appropriate steps from there. So it can be tedious, I know, but it's a fantastic idea if you're concerned about security, especially for an account that means a lot to you. If you have a lot of stuff going on to your email account, a lot of maybe really important stuff, you want to lock it down so that no one can try to get into your email account. Okay, does that sound good? Okay, so next is software updates. Please do software updates. I know they're really annoying, but big tech companies are constantly improving on their product security. So if there ever is an Apple or an Android or a Samsung, Google update, whatever, please do it. These updates can be annoying, but they're necessary for keeping up the latest and greatest of the security software. These companies have a duty to improve on their vulnerabilities of the devices that they sell to you. So it's in your best interest to update your device so that you can get these new security features, because, you know, all the bad stuff is constantly evolving. And so our own devices have to evolve as well to be better to combat them, to protect them from the bad stuff that's out there. If you're worried about being long and annoying, recommend doing them at night, so they do not interfere with your usage. It could be where you just plug it in, keep it turned on, keep it an internet connection, and then say yes to the update, and it does it on its own while you are sleeping. Okay, awesome. All right, do create a long password for both, whether you're doing numerical or alphabetical. So people tend to choose things that they numbers or words that they know that are very obvious. For passcodes for phones, you know, some people do 1 2 3 4 or 0 0 0 or the last 4 digits of their number. It's not the safest practice because that's the first thing a hacker or someone who has access to your device is going to try. So with your if you have to make a passcode, please try to make it as random as possible, or make it be as removed for you as possible. So maybe not your birthday, but maybe, you know, your a parent's or a child's, just something that's a little bit removed from you, so that someone who has basic knowledge of you wouldn't be able to get into it. Opt for a 6-digit passcode when possible. Usually it's between 4 and 6, so try to go as long as possible to make it more difficult for others to get into. It may be harder to remember, but it's going to be more difficult for hackers to guess and to get into. Passwords, kind of the same thing. Make it as long as you can, make it as complicated as you can, whether you're using uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols, the whole thing. Try not to make complete words, you know, all that. And for those who have trouble with passwords, we're going to talk about password managers that can help you with that. All right, moving right along. Okay. So do turn on data erasing, or at least familiarize yourself with this feature. Apple and Android has an app called Find My. So this is where you've lost your phone and you can then go into another phone or another device or computer, and you can look up where your device, your phone is from that computer. Gives you the, you know, approximate location on the map, which is really nice. Another feature of this is erasing data, which means that the phone or the device is completely non-recoverable. If you were on a trip and it's lost in Hawaii somewhere, or it's, you know, it's been stolen and it's completely gone, you know, it's out of your hands, you can then erase data remotely. You can remotely erase your phone so that no one can get into it. So from there, once you get familiarize yourself with this app or this website, you would log into your account, the account on your phone, whether it's an Apple or an Android, and you follow the prompt to lock your phone and then choose erase phone. So, you know, just familiarize yourself with it. Obviously, don't do it unless you have to, but in the heat of the moment, when you know it's bad and you know the phone has been lost, it may be something this way you know what to do rather than kind of frantically searching at the last moment. There's also know how, you know, how can I retrieve my phone if I happen to lose it, you know, somewhere in my house or something. There's another extreme measure called self-destruct, which we don't have to get into, but basically after too many failed passcode attempts, you're putting in the wrong passcode over and over and over, eventually it will self-destruct and it will completely erase itself, which is very extreme and not recommended, but it is an option if you're very concerned.
But if your information is backed up to the iCloud, you get another phone, you can get that information back, right?
Yeah, if your phone is backed up, you're in better shape, where most of your stuff will be already online. By erasing the data, you kind of, as soon as the phone is turned on or connected to an internet, it will erase itself so that the person then couldn't get into your iCloud or get into the, you know, all the stuff you have saved on your phone. So it doesn't erase your iCloud, it doesn't erase the cloud, it just erases whatever is on the phone itself. So it kind of gives her a pathway. Okay, cool. All right, next is autofill. So maybe consider turning off autofill if you're concerned about the security of it. And here's why. So we've been filling out a form online. We're buying something online. It's asking for your email, your password, your address, and all that kind of stuff. And you've noticed that the device is filling it in for you. It's filling in all the information for you, and it can do that because you've given it permission to remember this information and then fill it in for you. It's incredibly convenient, but it can be very dangerous if the phone is ever compromised. Because all a person needs is just to have your phone, and they can go on any website they want and buy anything they want, because your phone is automatically filling in all that important information, especially the financial information, credit cards, passwords, that kind of stuff.
Is that the same as a cookie?
Cookie, not necessarily, no. The cookie, it remembers what websites you've been on and certain features. Autofill is anytime you fill out a field, like your name, address, it's very particular to you. A cookie is more of, oh, you've been to this website, let me pull it up faster, or oh, you've agreed to the terms and conditions, I don't have to ask you again, kind of thing. So two separate things, but both actually, is a way to both are security things, yes. So it's a safe idea to turn off autofill on devices, depending on how much you want to deal with filling out that information every time. Just whatever you're comfortable with, but it is something to consider if you're worried about it. Okay, phishing. So, sorry. All right, do avoid phishing. So phishing is those scam emails, those scam phone calls, the scam text messages now. God. Phishing is constantly evolving, where you've got scammers, hackers, who are sending you very legitimate looking things that trick you into giving them the information that they want from you. So there's a lot to know about phishing, and it's constantly getting more and more sophisticated. It's ridiculous. So kind of basics whenever we're encountering phishing: do not give out any sensitive information. Don't click on any links. Don't believe it if it sounds too good. If the sale is too good, the money looks great, it's probably too good to be true. Do look for misspellings. It could be simple as uppercase words where normally there wouldn't be uppercase, or bad punctuation. If it looks wrong, it's probably came from maybe someone who's not more aware of our culture, our language, such. Do check the sender address, the email address, and we'll take a look at some examples for that. And best way you can fix this is make a phone call. If you get an email from someone who's claiming to be your bank or your credit card, well, just take out your credit card, look on the back, and call that customer service number, because you know that number on the back of the credit card is good. You may not know if that email is good. So that way, if you have a number to call, please call that phone number. So let's go fishing. All right, so this is a scam email. That is an example. What they want you to do is, you see this, it looks very concerning, very alarmist. What do? What they want you to do is click on this link to view alert details, and from there they will ask you for your Microsoft Office email and password. Once they got that, they can then get into your Microsoft account. They could probably get into your credit card. You probably get your credit card number because you used your credit card to pay for Office 365. They could then figure out your email, what your email address is, if you have a Microsoft email with them, an Outlook account, email password for that, and so on and so on and so on. It gets worse and worse and worse. So how do we know if this is a scam? First thing, probably the biggest one up here is the Microsoft at email-records.com. That is not a legitimate website, email address. Technically, I guess it may fit, but it's just kind of, at email.records.com doesn't sit well with me. And that's just kind of how I've learned to go. Normally with Microsoft, with any company name, usually the company name is after the at. It's, at Microsoft.com or at Google.com, it's something where it's after the at. Other indications is that whatever this is right here, it is very confusing. We're not really sure what's going on here. There's no personalization. If this was given to anyone, they didn't really know what to do with it. What they don't want you to know what to do with it. They just want you to click on that link and to get yourself into trouble. All right, more phishing, more Microsoft. Here we have a totally different email account. So support@msupdate.net. So here we have a net, it's not even a .com. Word Microsoft isn't really technically in here except for maybe the MS, but that's kind of weird. Update has nothing to do with this. So it's just very awkward. So what they want you to do here is, you get this email, you did not change your password, you start to freak out, you think that your account has been compromised, someone got into it and has changed the password. So they want you to come down here, click on this link, and reset your password again. What it's gonna do, it's gonna ask for your username, it's gonna ask for your real password, and then once they have that, they have access to your Microsoft account, and they have access to your email, and you're out of luck again. So just keep that in mind. This is a Google one this time. So this is weird. Where supposedly it's sending you an attachment. This is the email address it is from. So it is very weird at protected-download.com. That if it really is from a Google Drive or Google or something, it should not be coming. That's just completely wrong. I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of wrong. Same thing here. What they want you to do is they want you to click here. We don't know what this attachment is. It's not telling us what it is. That's also extremely not safe. From here, it will probably ask you for your Google account to view it. Meaning it needs your credentials to view the attachment. You give it to them, then you have access to your Google account. Not cool. Not cool. Okay. All right, credit card, Capital One. All right, so again, a very scary email, where it says one of your credit card Capital One accounts has been suspended. But we take a look up here at the email address there, capitalone@update-win.com. Update-win.com doesn't indicate anything that it actually is from Capital One. It is wrong. We got a couple exclamation points. That seems a little ridiculous for an official company, a very prominent company. And then down here, it's meant to scare you. And then it wants you to review your current status online at any time. From there, it's going to ask for your credit card, your account information, probably your credit card information, and you're out of luck. If you got this email, all you have to do is just take out your credit card, Capital One card, look to the back, customer service, and give them a call and see if you actually have been breached. All right, so this has been getting worse and worse and worse. Text messages. For those who are getting text message phishing, where you're just getting these random text messages that either want you to go to a link or want you to call, and that have completely unprompted. Whether it says you won $1,000 gift card, or your IRS tax refund, where they need you to go to this link and do something, or the IRS will be after you or whatever. Could be that your grandson was arrested last night in Mexico and he needs bail money immediately. Basically they want you to engage with them. They want you to click on these links. They want you to call this number, and then they're going to ask for information. You're going to be scared. You're going to give it to them, and then you're out of luck and you're getting yourself into trouble. So the best thing to do with these is to delete them, to block the number, to ignore them. But yeah, it's just getting more and more persistent with these. It's so easy for these hackers and scammers just to push it out to everybody. And so it's no time lost on their end. Okay, any questions? questions? Cool. All right. So that was phishing. So we're now gonna see, we're browsing online, we're on the internet. I don't know where I am. We're going from, website to website. And the first thing is to figure out, well, is this website that I am on, is it safe? So going to a bad website can have major consequences, including phishing, viruses, malware, identity theft, whether you're giving them information, you're downloading things, you're agreeing to things. So best thing to do is to figure out what is a good website and what is a bad website. So the quick signs of a good website are a padlock symbol next to the URL. Kind of like a padlock right there. It is HTTPS in the URL, not HTTP. And yes, the S stands for secure. So that is also a really good sign. It has a privacy policy on the website. That's basically what the company does with your data. That means it's a legitimate company and it tells you what it will do with the data that you give it. And it accepts all major payment methods, and we'll talk about that as well. Red flags. What is a bad website? Well, the easiest way is a lot of our browsers these days, Google Chrome, Google Chrome, Safari, Firefox. A lot of these browsers have built-in security protections, which is really nice. And sometimes a browser will tell you when the website is unsafe. Or, you've probably seen this once or twice, where it says connection is not private, something is silly information, yada, yada, yada. And then you can then either go back to safety, or if you trust it for whatever reason, maybe you've done it before, it's okay. If you go to advanced, it will then say, okay, are you sure you want to proceed? And you say yes. You may see shady pop-ups or want to redirect you to websites. That's another red flag to watch. Don't want to go there. Avoid any website that only accepts bank transfers or wire payments. If they do not accept credit card or debit card, maybe stay away, because clearly they only want that one specific information from you, from your bank account, and that's really dangerous information for you to be giving out. And then no return policy or privacy policy on the website. You can't find it. Means that maybe the scammer did not flush out a fully, they did not make a website look more legitimate, because a real website would have that information there. All right. So tools to stay safe. We've talked about how the browser has some protections. Usually any browser that is updated and well kept will have be able to block pop-ups. They'll send do not track requests. They'll disable unflashed content. They'll stop malicious downloads, or at least check with you and say, hey, are you sure you want to download this? I've scanned it, seems kind of fishy. And then it will control access to input devices. This usually means your microphone and your video camera that is on maybe on a tablet or a laptop or your smartphone. So it kind of better controls so your phone can't listen to you or turn the video camera on without your permission. Again, for any of these browser stuff, to just check on how that's working for you. If you go to privacy and security section to see these details in any of the web browsers, Google Chrome especially, you can kind of go through a checkup just to see what's going on, what kind of security has been turned on for you, and what you need to brush up on. And then, but of course, built-in browser safety tools cannot catch everything. They're not perfect. There's a lot of bad stuff out there, and they can only do so much before they hit their limit. Another website safety test is that you can use a website checker to see the safety rating or status of your website. We've got 3 options here: Google Transparency Report, Norton Safe Web Checker, and URL Void. This is a website that you would go to. You would then give it a website to check. For this case, the library's website, and you can ct.gov/library, and then it tells you what kind of history it has. If there's any unsafe content that's ever been found on it, or what's going on with it. So if you're on a new website, it's looking a little weird, you're not sure about it, that's another way that you can say, hey, has anything been weird reported on this? Should I be wary? All right. Please use trusted retailers only when doing online shopping. Use the ones that you recognize. You're giving this site your credit, your debit card information, your name, your email address, all of this stuff. And so you want to make sure you're actually giving it to the right person. So use ones that you know, whether you're on Amazon, if you're on Best Buy, make sure you're on a retailer's website and it's the right one. Because, people get creative and they make a fake looking website for a company and you think you're on the right one and you are not. So just keep an eye on that. And that means that you're going to be double checking URLs. So scammers will misspell names of trusted and popular websites and URLs, or if you use numbers. So for example, it's supposed to be google.com, but then some person will make a GO0GLE.com. Just to try to trick people to get onto that website, whether for chaos or then somehow get you to giving them information. So it's easy to miss fake websites imitating real ones. They're meant to do that. They're meant to trick you. So an example down here is Nike.com, the shoes, Nike. And so the real one here, we've got store.nike.com. We've got the green padlock. We've got HTTPS. It all looks good. This is the bad one down here, very questionable and very scammy. NikeTheShoes.com, no HTTPS, no padlock. But shoe, the scam one is meant to replicate the real one. You're browsing for shoes, you try to buy it, ask for your information, you give it to them, and they got everything that they want from you, and you never get the shoes. So what you can do is before you click onto the website that you're going to go on to, if you hover your mouse over the link, basically the text that you see, maybe it says Nike the store. If you hover your mouse over that link, you'll find a URL at the bottom left corner of the browser. So if you were to do that with Google, you're in Google, you got a list of search results to different websites that you can go to. You'll see the text that maybe says, Nike store. You just hover your mouse over that Nike store text, the actual words, and the URL will be at the bottom left of the window, and it'll give you the actual web address that you're going to be going to. And you can do a quick look and double check it, you're going to the right one. It's always something with them. All right, back to payment methods. We're going to note our payment methods. So just check that the website accepts major credit and debit cards. Good websites will have normal payment methods from the major credit card, debit card companies, or pretty much a range of them. And just stay away from any sites that purely only use bank transfers and wire payments. That's not what a normal retail website would do. Okay, thank you. All right, we're really concerned if you keep going with that. You can check review sites. So people will share their experience on anything, especially if scanned and they want to air their grievances or they want to make other people aware of what they went through. So you can check review sites like Trustpilot for retail sites. Or you can simply go to Google, type in that website company name and the word scam and see what comes up. Because if a person has been scammed, they'll probably make some kind of review or report of it. And you can figure out what other company or store has been reported for scamming that way. Okay, cool. Moving right along. All right. So this is just to reaffirm to check for HTTPS. So reputable websites have the URLs that begin with HTTPS, not just HTTP. One letter can make a huge difference between a secure website that will encrypt your data and scam websites that will steal it. So if the website is secure, there is a padlock, as we discussed, at the beginning, at the left of the URL, the very beginning of it. So pretty much the most valuable thing to see is the padlock and then the S. But the absolute rule is to stay away from any website that is missing that padlock. And then you know it is a secure site. So just keep that in mind. Privacy policy. So any reputable website has to have a privacy policy. It is required by law. They have to have it. And so if a website does not have it, that means that they're one, breaking the law, and two, it's a scam. It's not a real website. It's not a legitimate business organization. Usually the privacy policy can be found at the bottom of the homepage. You scroll all the way down, and in that fine print, there's probably something that says privacy policy. This is an example of Amazon's privacy policy. Basically means, what does a website do with the information it gets from you? That includes your name, your email address, what kind of stuff did you look at? All of that is in the fine print. They probably have some right to that information because you gave it to them, and then they have to tell you what they do with them. So tells you about cookies, identifiers, share my personal information, all that kind of stuff. So any legitimate website has to have a privacy policy. If it does not, do not trust that website. Oops. Here we go. These days, we're also seeing trust badges. One of these might look familiar to you. These mean absolutely nothing. Any website can grab any of those graphics from Google and just put it on their website. There is nothing binding about any of those graphics. So extremely easy to get. Any website can grab them. From legitimate websites can certainly get it, or scammers can do it too. So I'm not saying it's bad if you see them, but they just mean nothing for you. So they do not promote any sort of security. There's no verification to them. More red flags. So we're looking at any flash warnings, pop-ups, too many exclamation points. It's not really, grammatically correct. It's not looking good. A legitimate website should not be too explanatory like that. If it wants to redirect you to other sites that clearly look wrong, weird, unsafe, search engine warnings from the browser, your search engine, bad spelling or grammar. I mean, clearly, if it was not written by an English speaker, then you probably shouldn't be on that website. Electrical text that doesn't fit the overall feel of the website, weird pictures that have nothing to do there, or no space to leave product reviews, no return, no policy, and of course, prices that are too good to be true. All right, again, if you're not sure if you're on the right website, just call the company. Most websites provide a phone number on the contact or about us pages, or try contacting them through customer support. So it may be that if you're not on a legitimate website and you call that number, maybe the number's out of business. There's a fake number to begin with. Or you call the number and you get someone from India who clearly has no idea it just doesn't feel right. If this company says they're based in New York, why are you getting this random number to someplace totally different? So it doesn't hurt to call, and then if it doesn't feel right, just hang right up. All right, we're in the home stretch. All right, virus protection. So virus protection software helps you avoid harmful websites, harmful downloads, malware, viruses, just in general. So it's really nice to have. It can mean less worried, but the better protection that you want, or the more features you want covered, or more eyes that you want on your device, that usually means more money. It means a subscription. There are free options with virus protection, but usually it means less coverage. It does less things for you. So it's kind of give and take depending on what you want. It also could be you have virus protection on your laptop, but not necessarily your smartphone, or you have both. You have a little bit of options here. And of course, most software, whether it's your phone, your tablet, your computer, they come preloaded with your kind of basic company virus protection to begin with, and then this is an option to add on to it if you feel like it isn't enough. So this stuff you can explore at your own time. I have nothing really to say about any of these. I got the word best. I got the reviews off of PC Magazine, different sources that rated these websites, so that these services that I wouldn't have to. Okay. Virtual private networks. So this is a little on the newer side. So virtual private networks is a service that you can purchase and they always cost money. This is a very secure way to take whatever you do online and encrypt it, make it very secure, hide it from other people. And it replaces your IP address, so it can even be traced back to you. It's very neat, it's very cool. And maybe a little overkill for some, but for those who want a very secure option, this is definitely it. If you're doing a lot of work on public networks, if you're here at the library, if you're in a coffee shop, if you're traveling a lot in hotels, you're on a public network, and you're more vulnerable on a public network. And then VPN, a virtual private network, is a way to protect yourself on the go like that. It's also used to access another country's content, which means that it can do that by, when you use a virtual private network, you get to choose where you say you want to be. So you can say, oh, I'm in Italy at this moment, so I have now access to Italy's content and so on. So it's different, it's cool, but it's certainly more technologically advanced to get used to. And it's certainly going to cost you money. So you're less likely that your device will be hacked because you're kind of completely, you're hiding yourself away, you're changing your location, it can't find you, everything's encrypted, it's very secure. But you're gonna pay a price for it. Whether it's a month, you give it a try for a month, see if you like it or not, and then you can maybe go on to a year if you want to. I don't have one. I have no experience with them, I just know about them, and they seem cool, but it seems like such a big step for, some people, especially for me. Okay, any questions about that? Cool. Identity monitoring services, yay, all right. So identity theft is a real thing. I think Webster just had a thing going out today, I'm not really sure. But so these services that you are paying for, and of course it costs money, there's no guarantee that it prevents that. It cannot do that. No one can completely give you 100% guarantee that it will not happen to you. What it does do is that it monitors key areas that indicate that your credentials have been stolen. So that means anytime a loan is taken out in your name, or a tax form has been filed in your name, anything like that, using the information it has from you, it keeps an eye out for that stuff and then lets you know when you have your identity has been stolen or someone is pretending to be you. So that's its point is to be watchful, to let you know. It's not meant to stop it. It can't do that 100%. What's nice also about it is that if your identity is stolen while you are paying a subscription, most services, again, check the fine print, but they'll reimburse you for any losses that have occurred, usually for up to $1 million. Again, look at the contract, look at the fine print, but usually there's some sort of reimbursement if you are subscribed to one of these services, your identity is stolen, they'll reimburse you for your loss. So it's kind of like insurance too. So that's nice. Okay. Sounds good. Wrapping up. Very nice. Okay, password managers. So as we know, these days, there's just a password for every single thing you do online. It's terrible. And they all have to be different, and they all have different rules that you have to follow about uppercase, lowercase, numbers, the number, the amount. So password managers is a software that either you subscribe to or there is a free option as well, where you basically set up an account with them and it remembers all your passwords for you. This information is encrypted, it's safe. It is a little bit of a trust thing. You're trusting this software, this piece of this company with your information, with your passwords. And then as you are on your website doing your thing, it then fills in that password for you. It remembers so that you do not have to. So it's supposed to allow easy access to your accounts by remembering passwords in a secure fashion, and it stores important and sensitive information and then fills out the forms for you. So if you have a real trouble with passwords, if you're just fed up with them, this is an option. Or you can go old school and have a little notebook next to your computer that has all your passwords with it, because that's unhackable unless someone gets the actual, notebook. next to it.
What about an antivirus such as McAfee that wants to keep track of your passwords? Is that safe?
Oh, I mean, McAfee virus, I don't know. I mean, they're not. I wouldn't,
Yeah, I always feel unsafe when it's asking me.
yeah, I mean, there's certainly a antivirus software, but I don't know anything about them being password as well. I don't know. Either maybe it's something they're expanding into or it's a feature. In that case, I would maybe give them a Google and McAfee password reviews. Just see if anyone has any experience with it and what it's like. Do you have to pay extra for it or? Oh, okay. I don't know. It's a leap of, it's a trust, it's a leap of faith, because you're paying for the subscription, I assume. So you know that if something ever went wrong, you have a company that you can call and complain to and say, hey, give me my money back, or hey, fix this for me. But you're also giving all your passwords. So
Yeah.
it's whatever if you would have normally done that with another company or with another service, certainly that might save you some money. But if whatever your system you're working on now, if you like how you're keeping track of your passwords, I don't know, it's up to you. Personally, I do not use a password manager because it's weird. It's still weird to me. Even I'm pretty tech savvy. I've got a nice little notebook kind of thing.
My notebook has to be have the sewn in pages, not the loose leaf pages. Because if somebody takes a page out, I want to know.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm just curious,
Yeah.
so the one password,
Mhm.
it's $3 a month or $60 a year, so. What do you get for 60 if you don't get on a monthly basis? It should be $36. It's so different, I was just wondering.
Yeah.
if It's a different service.
I am not sure about that. It could be there either are more features. A lot of these are, how do I say this? Again, each one is a little bit different, and there's also the number of devices it covers. So it will, maybe that $3 a month is set for what it will just cover your smartphone. But then you add more devices and then it gets a little bit more complicated. Family plans, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Or I could have typed that wrong. Sorry. Yeah. So it's, give or take. If you're interested, then take a look. But I'm not saying that you have to have this because I don't. So I can't recommend it to you if I certainly don't have it. Okay. Cool beans. We're done. Oh my gosh. Okay. So recap, you don't have to be scared with, all these different ways that you can, improve on your security, of your online safety. Just kind of, get to know of what's out there, what to avoid, what to do. And just take some actions to secure yourself while using the internet. Prepare in advance. Don't wait until it happens to you and then you have to, really the last minute try to save yourself. Okay.